So in the last session, we have started the concept of Terraform, right? So in today's class, I'm gonna take it to the next level by using some of the concepts like CLI, outputs, and the rest of the topics. Okay. So let me quickly go and create an EC2 instance that is going to run Terraform. I'll go to Mumbai region. Let me create here. So name will be Terraform. Okay. And here, remember, in the advanced section, I'm going to give two things. First of all, I'm going to run the Terraform while creation. Okay. So GitHub, Raham Sheikh, all setups. Put the Terraform script here. Okay. And the second thing is in the instance settings, I need to give the IAM role. What I need to give? Why? Why? Because we need to give the permissions. Correct or not, sir? So select. So give Terraform role. In the advanced only you can do. Why? Because otherwise we need to give the access key and secret key. Which one is better? Giving role or access key and secret key? Giving role. Why role is good? Because role doesn't have any credentials to expose, but whereas access key and secret key will be having things. So here I am just running the script. Okay, remember while running the script, you need to perform /bin/bash. Okay, this is mandatory. So click on launch. So ultimately, I'll get the EC2 instance with Terraform creating. So now tell me what is Terraform? Already we discussed in last session, right? Terraform is infrastructure as a code. What is the meaning of infrastructure? With the help of that code, we are going to create the infrastructure. What is the meaning of infrastructure? First of all, resources used to run the application on the cloud. Correct. Okay. So let me open our text called server.txt. Yeah, here we have. Okay. So let me recap what we have seen in the last session. So infrastructure, if we create manually, time consuming, manual and commit lot of mistakes. So we want to automate by using which tool I'm automating? Terraform. I write the code which is on HCL language. What is HCL? HashiCorp configuration language. So Terraform is free, but is it open source? No. Why? Because it is recently taken by the HashiCorp. So it is platform independent, comes in the 2014. Okay, Mitchell Hashimoto is the founder and it is owned by HashiCorp, but recently taken by which language used to Terraform? Go language. And in examination point, there is only one important question. Question will comes like this. So if you want to run Terraform, do we need to download Go programming language to our local? No. This is the one of the question what you might get. Okay. So we can call Terraform as IAC code actually. So what we do, write, plan and apply. What are the advantages? Reusability, time saving, automation, avoiding mistakes, dry run. So everything. And coming to cloud alternatives, AWS will have, CFT, Azure will have, ARM, Google will have, GD. But if I use Terraform, I can all the clouds. So coming to other alternatives, we have Pulumi, Ansible, Chef, Puppet, OpenTofu. These are everything. And OpenTofu code and Terraform code will be same actually. There is nothing different. I showed you in the last session, right? If you want me to show, let me go and show you the OpenTofu code. Like I'm writing here, OpenTofu code for AWS EC2. Okay. So now we'll be seeing the OpenTofu code. And with this, I need to connect in the meanwhile. This is one thing I'm seeing very strangely. I'm opening the Mozilla Firefox, but unfortunately it is closing itself. I'm not sure why it is happening. If you observe, I opened Mozilla Firefox 2 times, but unfortunately it is closing itself. Huh? Updates. I don't think so. Updates will come only one time, man, but it is closing 3-4 times at a time. Array, man. You know what is happening here? So in the last section, we have seen variables, right? Why we need to use variables? Whenever the value is keep repeating, we are definitely going to use. So that topic again, I'm going to recap one more time. Okay, so then we can go for the next topic today. And why it is closing every time? Something is happening to my system. Like I'm not sure why and what. Okay, so finally we have connected. So let me go and use sudo -a. So I want to check my Terraform is installed or not. So simply write Terraform -v. So Terraform is there. So everything is fine. mkdir Terraform. Okay. In Terraform, what is the meaning of configuration file? Configuration file is nothing but it is a file which consists of the inputs of resource. So by default, I'm going to take main.tf, but you can take any .tf. .tf is the extension. What is the first block we need to write? Provider. Which provider I'm using? AWS. Okay. So next to region. In which region I'm going to create the infra? Let's take US East 1. What I'm taking? US East 1. Okay. After that, I'm going to create the resource. What I'm going to create? What I want to create AWS instance with the block identifier. I'm giving 1. Okay. So first of all, I need to give AMI. After that, I need to give instance type. Okay. Instance type is equal to I want to go for T2 dot micro. And one of the thing I want to give is like I want to take count as 2, for example. Count is equal to 2. So let me give the AMI also. Let me take AMI from here. So this is my AMI ID. Okay, I'm gonna take AMI ID from here and go and give it to the mobile storm. But again, where is mobile storm gone? Already we opened and we connected, right? I written some code also. Okay, so I got the AMI ID. So it is a AMI ID, correct or not, sir? So if I want to make this as variable, first of all, let me pin this to taskbar. Okay. So what I'll be doing now, here if I want to make it as variable, I'm going to take var dot instance count. And if I want to take a, like instance type as variable, I can write var dot instance underscore type. Now tell me how can I write variables for it? What is the first variable here? Instance count. So variable, what is the name of the variable I want to give? Instance count. So in the variable block, I have three things: description, type, and default. Description type is mandatory. No, can I give default? But in the notes, I have given description and type also. If you want to practice them. Next, what is the second variable? Instance type. What is the instance type here? Instance type is nothing but I want to give here default is equal to I want to give for t2 dot micro. Correct? For example, if I want to add the name as variable, see, generally how we add the name, it is very easy. For example, let's take tags. What I want to take? Inside the tag, I want to give name of my server. For example, name of my server will be Raham. So, how many servers I am creating here? 2. For 2 servers, I'll get the same name and I'll be getting the same instance type. Sir, I want to take a name as variable. Again, what I can do, var dot instance underscore name. So simply what I'll be doing here, write one more variable block. So name of the variable block will be instance name. In the default, I'm gonna give the name as Raham server. Which server? Raham. Let's say. Now click on save. Okay. But before saving, as per the golden rule, what we need to do, all the variables need to be defined on which file? Variable.tf. Why? Because if I put all the variables in main.tf, so it is gonna be very difficult for me to read the configuration file. So variable blocks I always go and put on the file called variable.tf. Now let's go and do. And what is the command we need to see? First of all, when we run the Terraform like configuration file, which command we need to do? Terraform init. This init will do download the provider plugins. Why? Because without plugins, we cannot perform any operation. And in which path the provider plugins are going to download? Dot Terraform. Remember, to create any resource, you need to have plugins. To download the plugins, we need to use Terraform. Clear? Fine. So next, second one will be Terraform plan. This is to create the execution plan. Whatever the resource I have given, it is going to take it as input and it is going to create the execution plan. For example, if I don't provide input, it is going to take default values. Okay. So how many servers I'm going to create? 2. Next to Terraform apply. Terraform apply is to create the resource. So if I don't want to provide prompt, I can use auto approve. So now it is going to create the resource on the real world. Real world means it is going to create on my console. Again, if I go back to my console, it's gone. Okay. But again, already, if you know how to use the system very well, you can use Alt tab. Okay. So if I go and see now, in my AWS console, okay, I'll be creating 2 servers here. Are you seeing 2 servers? This is my Terraform server. Don't take this as input. Are you seeing 2 Terraform servers? So it is creating now. So now in the same way, for example, once I create the resource information is going to store on which file? Terraform state. If I use cat terraform.tf state, automatically my output will save here. No, sir, if I want to list the resource, Terraform state list. Okay. So in this way, we can be able to list the resources. Sir, if I want to delete any one of them, I can use one of them. Target. Okay. But if I want to delete everything, I'm going to use Terraform destroy. So instead of apply, put destroy. Okay. So you can use it. So in this way, we are going to use the concept called Terraform variables. So, but here now I'm having a requirement. Listen to the requirement. The concept is going to be amazing. In real time, we have 4 environments: dev, QA, UAT, prod. For each and every environment, we need to create separate infra or not, sir? Definitely, I cannot use the same infra for like same infra for all the environments. So definitely we need to create. For example, I'm going to tell you a instructions based upon the instruction. Just understand how Terraform is going to helpful for us. Okay. I'm going to open the paint here. In the paint, I'm going to draw a diagram. Okay. First of all, I want to create the developing environment. I'm taking 3 for the clarity. Next, I'm going to take the testing environment. And let's say I'm going to take the production environment. Which environment? So now this is the requirement what I need to follow. What is the first environment? Dev environment. What is the first environment, sir? Dev environment. Okay. So for the dev environment, I want count of servers is equal to 1. And instance type I want T2 micro. And the name of the server will be dev server. Which server? It is my requirement. It is what? My requirement. It is for which environment, sir? Dev environment. Now, similar to the dev environment, I have one more environment called testing environment. So now for the testing environment, okay. Now for the testing environment, I want count of my servers is equal to 2, sir. How many count I want? Okay. So now type is equal to I want T2 medium, let's say. Okay. What I want type as T2 medium. So next one, name of the server will be test server. So for developing environment, how many servers? 1. But for testing, 2. So T2 micro for dev, T2 medium for test, and for dev server, name will be dev server, and for test environment, name will be. Now, similar to this one, I have one more environment called production environment. Which environment? Now, for production environment, I want count is equal to 3, let's say. And instance type will be T2 large. What is the instance type? T2. And name of the servers will be prod. Now, tell me, first of all, how many different environments I'm having? 3 different? Correct or not, sir? So whenever I'm having 3 different environments, now my 3 different configuration need to be right here. So how can I do? Means with the help of Terraform tfvars. Which one? Terraform tfvars is one of the Terraform file where you can store the configuration separately. Here, how many configurations you are having? 3. So you can write 3 different configurations and you can store them separately. For example, developing environment, I gonna return dev.tfvars. What is the name of the file? Dev. So similarly for testing environment, I'm gonna create the file called test.tfvars and the configuration I'm gonna store on the testing environment. As well as one more production configuration, I'm gonna store it on the file called prod. That means for each and every environment, create a separate tfvar file and store the configuration there. In that case, what will happen? The code will be reusable. What happened to the code? For example, if you don't want tfvar files, first of all, you create an environment for developing. Next, you change the value to testing. Next, you change the values to. That means you are changing the variable files or not, sir? So when you keep changing the variable file continuously, it is not a good thing. So instead of changing variable files separately, I'm gonna change the tfvars. So now let's see how practical it is going to effective. For example, see, if I don't use tfvars, what will happen? If I don't use tfvars, I'll go to variable file. In the variable file, first for developing environment, what is the value here? 1. So in the instance type, I want to make it as T2 like micro only, correct? Okay. And name of the instance will be dev server. Dev server. Okay. Now, if I go to after creating the resource of developing infrastructure for testing, the count will become 2 and the name and type of the server will become T2 medium and name of the server will become test. Again for third infrastructure called prod, value will become 3 and here the instance type will become T2 large as well as the name of the server will become prod, for example. Okay, of course there is a spelling mistake. Okay. So multiple times you are changing the value, which is not a good thing. So what I'll be doing? I'll create 3 separate files. I'll create Developing environment configuration, I put on dev.tf. Testing environment, I put on test. And production, I gonna put on. Now let's see how this is going to apply. So whenever if you want to use the tfvars, don't give the values in the variable.tf. Remove the values on the variable.tf. Okay. So now you have only two files, but give the command terraform fmt. The terraform fmt is to give the canonical styling format for the configuration files. If I go cat main.tf, in the main.tf, I have count as variable, instance type as variable, name as a variable. Okay, I have three different variables. Is variables in main.tf? No. No, variables is on file called variable dot. Here also I have the variable blocks, but do I have the values? No, the values I'm going to write on a separate file called tfvars. Which one? So for the first time, so I'm going to give dev.tfvars. For example, for dev.tfvars, what is the value of instance count here? Instance count is equal to 1 and the instance type is equal to t2 dot micro. And finally, instance name is equal to dev server. Let's take. Okay, like this. So now I have created the configuration for dev.tf. Now, similarly, what I'll do for testing, I'm going to create one more file called test.tfvars. And again, so same thing I'm going to run. I just copy pasted. Instance count will be, instead of 1, I'm going to put 2. Instance type T2 medium. Okay. And name of the server, test server. So again, for the production, I need to create one more file called prod.tfvars. Guys, here you can use raham.tfvars also. It doesn't matter which file name you are giving. File name can be anything in Terraform. So again, I have copied them and I am pasting them. Okay. So values will be 3 and instance type will be T2 large. Okay. And instead of dev, I need to put here prod. So now again, I'm going to explain the complete code for you. Let me run Terraform FMT one more time. Why? Because FMT will give the canonical styling format for our Terraform configurations. First of all, I'll go to main.tf. In the main.tf, my Terraform, while executing, will came to know that user defined the variable called count. What is the name of the variable? Instance count, but there is no value. And user defined instance type as variable, but there is no value. And user defined name as a variable, but there is no value. Now, Terraform automatically will go to variables.tf. In variable.tf also, user is defining the variable block, but is he defining the values? No. Now, Terraform will go and search for Terraform tfvars. Which one? If we have tfvar files, it is going to search. If we don't have tfvars, it is going to ask from CLI. I'll tell what is CLI. If I go and see, currently how many tfvars I'm having? 3. Dev, test, prod. In dev.tfvars, do you have the values now? Now this file I need to pass to Terraform. How will I pass the value to Terraform? Means very easy. First of all, run Terraform plan. Terraform plan. Remember, Terraform by default will take the values from terraform.tfvars file. By default file of Terraform tfvars will be Terraform tfvars. But do I have Terraform tfvars here? No, I have dev.tfvars, test.tf, prod.tf. Let me explain on this way. Guys, it is going to be very, very important question in the exam also. By default file will be terraform.tfvars. Okay, but here I have the file called dev.tfvars. Okay, and I have test.tfvars. And finally, I'm going to have one more thing called prod.tfvars. Okay, let's take them here in a clean way. Now, if you go and see, by default, if I have the file called terraform.tfvars by default, so automatically Terraform will pick values from this file. But when I have this file, do I have this file? No, Terraform is having dev, test, prod. So now you need to mention which file you want to take. By default, if you create this file without any intention, Terraform will take the values from this file. But this is the default file. Now I'm not giving it. So definitely I need to pass the name of the file. So here, if I use Terraform plan, hit enter, see what is asking. It is asking the values. Why it is asking the values means you are not passing any file. Are you passing any file? So whenever if you are passing file, Terraform will refer the values. But if you don't pass the values, how Terraform refer the values? No. So just to put -var is equal to, I'm going to pass the values from dev dot. Now in dev.tfvars, how many servers you are going to create? Okay, wait, I need to give -var -file. Give me a second. -var file. Var file stands for variable file. If you go and see in the top of the section, if I scroll up, okay, what is the server type? T2 micro. And what is the name of the server? Dev server. And how many servers are creating? That means ultimately my dev.tfvars is running properly or not, sir? Values is perfectly taken by Terraform. Now instead of plan, I am going to apply auto approve. That's it. Now Terraform will automatically go and approve the infrastructure. So in this way, first of all, I am going to create the which resource? Dev resources. Which resources? Just to go and see. So if you go and check out here, is the resource got added now? Now in the live environment, I mean like in the AWS console, if I go and see, if I click on refresh, am I getting the instance here of dev? I'm gonna select the running instances only. Are you selecting dev now? Okay. So my dev infrastructure got automatically created. Once your dev got created, now what is the infrastructure you want to go into create? Testing infrastructure configuration is on test.tfvars. Now what I'll do, I'll clear the screen. Now Terraform plan. And one more thing, Terraform plan is not mandatory always. It is also going to be one of the important question. Before we run Terraform apply, is plan mandatory? Yes or no? You have two options. What is the option? No. Okay. Even though if you don't run Terraform plan, you can perform Terraform apply, but your code need to be perfect at that time. So here see, I'm not planning this time directly. I'm giving Terraform apply. So, but I'm creating which infra now? Testing infra. So you need to pass test.tfvars. So automatically my thing is going to apply. So remember, Terraform plan is not required always. You can directly go and apply. Are you applying now? And one more thing, whenever if you are creating the testing infrastructure, your developing infrastructure is going to be override. Developing infra is going to be, that means your developing infra will go and testing infra will come. Is the logic clear? In future, if I create production, my testing infrastructure will go and production will come. It is due to the concept of workspace, which you are going to learn on tomorrow's class. As of now, don't think about it. Just concept, what I am telling you is tfvars. Focus on tfvars. Workspace is your tomorrow session concept. Okay. So now if I go to my here, like it is creating in the real world, if I go and see, click on refresh. What you got here? Testing server. You got only one. Second one is coming on the way. Okay. So we need to wait for it. Are you getting testing infra? How many servers are there? Two. What is the instance type? And what is the name of the server? Is it matching my testing infra properly? Correct. If you go and see the diagram, in the diagram, count will be 2, type will be medium, and name of the server will be. Is testing infra properly executed? And finally, which infra is pending? Prod. Prod infra configuration is on which file? prod.tf. Now simply replace instead of test.tf, just go and give prod. Automatically production infra will be executed. But as per our discussion, whenever if I execute the dev infra first, after executing the test infra, dev infra is going to be overridden. It will delete. And after executing test infra, if I go for prod, again the test is going to be override. Why? Because here we are going to work on the single workspace. Which one? So workspace is your tomorrow's concept. This problem we are going to discuss and we are going to find the solution on which class? Tomorrow's class. Correct. So if I go and see now, so complete it is trying to create, but in the meanwhile, I'll be going and checking from the console point of view. In the console point of view, already you got one prod server. So let's wait for the rest of the 2 prod servers. Okay. And what is parallelism in Terraform? Ability to create number of resources at a same time. By default, Terraform can create how many resources parallelly? 10. But can we restrict that? Of course we can. Correct. So it is very, very high-end question for the interview people. Okay. For the people who are going with experience, not for you. Are you seeing 3 servers now? That's it. So this is the overall concept of the Terraform tfvars. And once if we create the infra, if we don't want them, instead of apply, what are you going to put now? Destroy. Correct. So this is the concept of terraform.tfvars. Here the first question of terraform tfvars is, first of all, why we need to use the command called terraform, like a file called terraform.tfvars. Simple answer will be, whenever we are having different configuration, for different configuration, you are going to put the configuration on different files. So whenever you put the configuration on different files, so in that case, Terraform will be able to execute the configuration based upon your file. So let me open the file for you. Wait, 18. 4. Let me open the file. Give me a second. I'm having a lot of issues with this system. It's not working properly. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Here, Terraform tfvars. When we have the multiple configuration on Terraform to create the resource, we can use tfvar to store the configuration separately. On execution time, we need to pass the tfvars to the command. It will apply the values to that. It is one of the use case, but in real time, apart from this, we can also create different configurations separately. But here, in this way, we can do it, sir. But I'm not telling not to use this one. It is one of the way. But I'm going to teach you other ways in a simple format. Okay. Fine. So here I have the code. I can go and I can use this one. Second concept in today's session is going to be Terraform CLI. But before I go for Terraform CLI, is the concept of Terraform tfvars clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm is Terraform tfvars clear for all of you or not? Okay, clear. So remember, it is one of the method, but in real time, it is not necessary to use the same thing. We have some other options also. Next one is going to be Terraform CLI. Terraform CLI means you can pass the input from the CLI. Let's say Here, what I'm going to do is I don't want tfvar files. No, so I'm removing all the tfvar files. Rm minus rf star dot tfvars. Remove everything. Now I have only two things. Okay. First one I have main.tf. Second one I have variable.tf. And there is one more thing called terraform.tf state back, which we are going to discuss on the upcoming days. Backup file. That means simply for our state file, we are going to create a backup file. Why? Because if you delete a information on Terraform, state file will remove the information or not, sir? But the information is going to store on backup. Let's say it is my state file. Whenever I create a EC2 instance, okay, whenever I create a EC2 instance, ultimately the information is going to store on the state file. But if I delete the input, I mean, like if I delete the infra, automatically the information is going to remove from the state file. But there is one more thing called Terraform state backup. Whatever the information that is removing from state file, backup file will catch the data and store on the state file separately. This helps whenever if you accidentally terminate the T of state, if you remove the accidentally, ultimately backup will be there for you to get the data. Okay. Simply Terraform state backup is nothing but which is the backup of your state file. If you delete a resource, information will lost from state file, but the same information is going to capture by backup. That's it. So now let's go and understand what is Terraform CLI. In the cat main.tf, I have the variables, but do I have the values? No. Now in the variable.tf, I have the variables, but do I have values? No. Now if I run Terraform apply, okay, hyphen auto, hyphen approve. I'm not giving values anywhere. Now Terraform will ask me, hey man, you define the variable call var.instance type, but there is no value. Then how can I create the instances? So give me some value. I'm going to give the value as 1. Again, you define one more value called instance name, but there is no value. Without value, how can I create? So give any value. I'm going to give dummy. For example, name of the server will be what here? Dummy. And again, you define one more value called instance type, but again, there is no variable. I am not finding it on any file. So give some variable. I can create the resource. So I'm going to take t2 dot micro. My Terraform will go and take these values and create the resource. Okay. Whenever, if you define a variable, but you are not passing any value, no Terraform CLI is going to ask the value for you. Is the concept of Terraform CLI clear for you? No? Correct. CLI means, okay, when the values are not defined from the configuration file, we can pass from CLI itself. It is a method number 1. I'll tell you method number 2 also. So now if I go and check on the real world, in the real world, if I go and click on refresh, what is the name of the server here? How many servers we have? What is the instance type? That means my CLI values are properly executed or not, sir? Fine. So even though if I want to destroy them, so go and give the command terraform destroy. Remember, while destroying, I'm not passing the values. See the execution now. Am I passing values now? No. So whenever if you are not passing, it is not going to execute. But definitely I need to pass at least one input. Okay. At least I'm passing one input. One. That's it. Instance type and instance name I'm not giving now. Is it deleting now? So while creating, all inputs are mandatory. But while deleting, you need to give at least one input. If you don't give anything, it won't do anything. Okay. That's it. So it is the method number 1 of passing values from CLI. Now I'm going to tell you the method number 2 also. So now let me show you the method number 2. So what I'll be doing now is Terraform apply auto approve -var. What is the first variable? Instance count. Correct or not, sir? Just give instance count and the value will be 1 and put -var. What is the second variable here? Instance name. Okay, instance name I am gonna give it as again dummy. What I am gonna give it as? Again, what is the third variable? Instance type. So just to give instance underscore type is equal to I wanna give t2 dot micro. So if I hit enter, automatically, okay, now my inputs are going to take from the CLI. See, in the first case, it is asking me like this. In the first case, while I create the first time, okay, where it is asking me values like this. But in the second time, I'm passing the values directly or not, sir? So whenever I pass the values directly, is it asking me from CLI again? No. So in any ways you can pass, but which one is better? Method number 1, method number 2? Method number 1. Why? Because in method number 1, you don't need to type anything. But in method number 2, you need to type this much length. Okay, that's it. So guys, is the concept of Terraform CLI clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm is Terraform CLI clear for all of you or not? Okay, correct. So it was clear for all of you. Great response. Let me delete it now. And variables we can pass from environment variables also. Let me show you the environment variables. Okay, what I'm going to tell you now, environment. Environment variable means simply you don't pass values from configuration files. You don't pass values from CLI. You don't define values anywhere, but still your values are going to work. How it is means with the help of the concept called environment variables. Okay, let me show you. How many variables we are having? How many variables, man? 2 na. 3. Count, name, type. You are telling it 2 then? You said 3 only. Okay. Tapas, how many you said, Amma? 3. You said 2. Okay, you said first 2, next 3, next 4. Okay, fine. So now see, I'm going to use the concept like this. Export tf underscore var. Tf var stand for Terraform variables. What is the first variable name? Instance count is equal to what is the value? 1. Second one, export tf var instance name. What is the instance name here? Dummy. Next, export tf var instance type. Okay. And here automatical, I'm going to give T2 medium or T2 micro. Anything is fine. Have I passed the values here? Okay. So let me copy them and let me give to the nodes first of all. Okay, here I already have given that completely fine. Okay, but let me go on this. So now if I run Terraform apply and plan. So this time I am running Terraform apply without passing any variables. Am I passing any variables here? No, why? Because variables I have configured as environment variables. Hit enter. It won't ask me any variables now. Is it asking, sir? No, why? Because I defined the variables on which level? Environment level. That means you can define variables inside main.tf, inside variable.tf. You can define on Terraform tfvars. You can define on Terraform dev.tfvars. Okay. And you can define on CLI, and finally you can define on environment. How many different ways we have seen, sir? Basically, nobody will tell you this many types of defining. But the reason why I tell you is real-time work means real-time work only. You need to learn and explore each and every possible way to pass the variables. Okay. If you ask me, sir, in real time, how you pass the variables? Sometimes I use environment variables. Sometimes I use Terraform tfvars and sometimes I use CLI. So depends upon the work what I'm gonna do. It is not like that always give the variables on only one level. It's not like that. It depends upon your work. So if I go and see now, if I go and see now, click on refresh. Are you seeing the same values or not, sir? Seeing the same values or different values? What is the name of the server I have given? Dummy. Are you seeing it now? So in this way, we can be able to pass the environment variables. Okay. That's it. Is the concept of environment variables clear for all of you now? Okay. So now here, a very big interview question comes to the experience level of people. Which people? Sir, you define the value on main.tf. Okay. For example, let's take count or instance type. In instance type, you define the value on T2 medium on main.tf, T2 micro on variable.tf, T2 large on CLI, and T2 micro on Terraform tfvars, and T2 2 extra large in environment variables. Now, which one will apply? Same variable you define on all the ways. Now, which one will apply? Interview question. Huh? No, all of you are wrong, Amma. Take your time and let me know. Take your time. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna like show a diagram for you. Take your time. I can explain the concept normally, but I want to show you in the diagrammatical format. Correct, Tapas? Who said CLI? Then your answer is correct. CLI is the correct answer. Which one? There is a concept called Terraform variable presidency. Which one? Variable presidency. Lot of people, I'm telling you, if I take 10 interviews, out of 10, one should tell the answer for it. Out of 10 interviews. Okay, that is going to be. Oh, wait. What happened? Terraform variable presidency. Okay. 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 So if I go to the images, I'm going to explain from the image point of view. Are you seeing the variable precedence here? Sir, the first priority will be given to which one? Command line. First priority. Second priority? tfvars. And one more thing, tfvars you can define on .json format also. Okay. First priority from CLI, second priority from auto tfvars, third priority on Terraform tf.json, and fourth priority is for Terraform vars. Fifth priority is for environment variables, and last priority is for variable.tf. So remember, whenever if you're passing a value from variable like command line, the rest of the values are going to be completely overridden. It's for damn sure. Is my logic clear? No, sir. Can you please show me practical way? Means, of course, I'm happy to show you the practical way. Okay. Currently, I have one environment variable. For environment variable, what is the value of count I have given? One. For example, let's take. Okay. What I'll be doing, in the environment variable, I have given one, right? But from the CLI point, I'm going to create two. What I'm going to do? Let's see. So Terraform, let's plan. Don't apply. Let's see the planning. In planning, you can get the output. Terraform plan -var is equal to instance count is equal to how much I'm giving now? 2. Plan. So in the environment variable, I have given value 1. But while passing from CLI, how much it is taking 1 to add? That means already I have 1. Second one it is creating or not, sir? That means which one is high priority? CLI. Remember, guys, I already have 1. That is the reason it is showing 1 only. No, sir, let me destroy. Means, first of all, let me destroy. Terraform destroy auto approve. I mean, basically, it's not a point on your syllabus, but I just want to give this clarity for all of you, the people who are aiming for the experience. It's not for freshers. Nobody will ask you this question on the fresher level. It is very, very in-depth. Almost all 5 to 6 years of experience people will get these questions. Okay. Remember, my intention is to give the depth subject for all of you. Okay. So you need to be ready for it, to take it. So I'm deleting it. Just want to show you one more time. In the planning, you can go ahead and see. Okay. So in the environment variable, what is the count value I have given? 1. But from CLI, what I'm passing? 2. Now which one will take? CLI. Just go and see. Are getting to here 2 to add. Again in the environment variable, I have given instance type is equal to T2 micro. But here I'm giving T2 medium, let's say. T2 medium. Now automatically in the plan section, it is going to override from T2 micro to T2 medium. If you go and see what is the instance type it is taking at T2, that means the only thing I want to convey is it doesn't matter what the hell you define on configuration files. It doesn't matter. If you pass a value from CLI, it is going to be completely override. So is the concept of variable precedency clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm is a variable precedency clear for all of you or not? Okay. Okay. So if you want to refer the diagram, so basically you can go and refer this diagram, guys. Okay. You can refer the diagram completely. Fine. So the next concept is going to be, let me go and destroy this one first of all. Where is the server? Let me destroy this first of all. Terraform destroy. Okay, I haven't created anything, so nothing to destroy. Fine. So next concept is going to be Terraform output, sir. Which one? Outputs. Let's go and see in the main.tf. Okay. So now again, what I'm going to do is here already I defined some values on environment variables. So I didn't define anything. Remember this point. Already I have defined the values on environment variables, sir. If you don't want to define the values on environment variable, what you are going to do? Simply, if I want to remove the values of environment variables, remove the values, hit enter. Okay. Here also I'm going to give T2. Wait. So I'm removing the value for instance name, and for instance type also I'm going to remove the value. So if you remove the values, automatically the values will not be coming. Okay. But the best way to do is instead of removing like this, just remove like this. Okay. Instance type, instance count, and instance name. Okay. Just remove the values like this. Fine. So now I can go and define the values in the main.tf directly. So in the count section, I'm not giving anything. Why? Because I want only one server. So in the instance type, I'm going to give it as T2 micro. And next I want to give name as Raham server. Which server? Raham. Sir, whenever you create a server, you get the public IP address or not, sir? You get the private IP or not, sir? So whenever if I create the server, if I want to get any information from the server, I can use the block called output block. Which block? Output block, I am going to give it as ABC. You can give whatever name you want. So which value you want now? I want the value of public IP address, correct or not, sir? So I'm asking to Terraform by using the output block called ABC, print the value. Which value you want to print? Whenever my AWS instance got created, okay, with the identifier call 1, it will give me a public IP. It will give me a public IP. Print that public IP. That means whenever AWS instance with the label name 1 got execute, it is going to give the public IP. Print the public IP for me. So now if you go in Terraform apply this time, you are going to get the public IP address, sir. Let me get Terraform apply. Oh, wait, apply. What is the name of the output block? ABC. You can put whatever you want. So I'll be getting the public IP. Okay. Okay. If you go and search in the public IP address here. Now, if we go and compare my resource here, so it is the resource what I got created. In the resource, if I go and compare, automatically this is going to be public IP address. If I go to running instances, I'm going to compare both of them. Are you seeing the public IP address, sir? If I copy and paste them here, both same output or not, sir? So like this, whenever if you create a resource, after that, if you want to print the output of the resource, in that case, you are going to use output to print the output. You can print any output. Sir, in the same way, I want to print the private IP also. So again, go to main.tf. So if I want to print multiple values, I need to take an array. What I need to take? Array means you need to take on a box. Okay. Comma. Again, what you want to print? Private IP. So whenever I create AWS instance with block name 1. So you are going to get something called as private IP. So now private IP will print. In the same way, I want to print the public DNS. What I do? Whenever I create AWS instance with label name 1. So it will give me a public DNS. What did it give you? Public DNS. So print me that. Now tell me one thing. In my configuration block, have I changed the provider block? No. Have I changed the resource block? No. Which block I changed now? Only that block will execute. Terraform will not execute the complete blocks. Whichever block you changed, by default, Terraform will go and apply changes on that block only. See now? If you go and see, only output block got changed or not, sir? You get the public IP, you get the private IP, you get the DNS. So like this, you can print the information of any resource. Sir, no, sir. I want to print the complete information. What I want to print? Complete information of a resource. So then how do you print the complete information of resource? It is very simple. Just put here star. What do you want to put? Star. So now this, like this indicate you want to print the complete information of AWS instance with label name 1. Go and execute now. Are you seeing the complete information of resource now? So like this, you can be able to print whatever the information you want. If you go and see, I have given the same thing. Output. Whenever you create a resource by Terraform, if you want to print output of the resource, we can use the output block. This block will printing the specific output as per our requirement. Okay. It is the way how you can print the multiple inputs. Okay. No, sir. If I want to get the complete input, I can use star like this, or simply I can use AWS instance with block name 1 also. Both will be working for you. You can use anyway. So remember, when we change the output block, Terraform will execute only that block. Why? Because you change only that block. So I'll execute that block only. So remaining blocks will not execute because there is no changes. Correct. Okay. So now the last concept of today's session is going to be tainting and untainting. Which one? Taint and very important concept for again experience level of people, not for the freshers. What is the meaning of taint? Let's say I'm having two resources. One is server, second one is bucket. Let me go and create a bucket. Okay. So how to create the bucket? Very easy. Vim main.tf. Okay. I can remove the output now. Why? Because I don't want this anymore. So how to create the bucket means by using above pattern. Tell me how to create bucket. First of all, what we need to use? No. First of all, which block I need to write? Resource block. So what I'm creating now? AWS S3 bucket. So the block name I'm going to give it as 2. So to create the bucket, what is mandatory? Bucket name. Rest of the things we can ignore and create or not, sir? So mandatory thing is bucket. So bucket is equal to, I'm going to give it as terabuck 009988. So like I'm going to create the small bucket like this. So now let's go and create Terraform, apply, auto, approve. So bucket got created in how many seconds? 0 second means less than 1 second actually. Okay. So now if I give the command Terraform state list, how many resources are currently managing by Terraform? Two. One is server. Second one is, let's say your server is not working properly. So you want to recreate or not, sir? For example, let's say I created 100 resources by using Terraform. Out of 100, one is not working properly. So once the resource is not working properly, you need to recreate or not, sir? So to recreate, what you do generally? Are you going to execute the complete Terraform script from the scratch again? No. This resource is not deleted. This is still in our AWS console. It is still working. But I want to delete the resource and again I want to create. Can we do it manually? No. Or do I need to write separate code for it? Of course we can write, but it is going to take a lot of time. Then in that case, the simplest and the easiest option is going to be taint actually. Which one? Terraform taint is to recreate the resource. Whenever a specific resource is not working properly in AWS, okay, if you want to recreate the same resource with same configuration, in that case, we are going to use taint. So let me go and give the command Terraform taint and give the AWS instance with block name 1. So whenever if I taint this one, automatically whenever if I run Terraform apply, whenever if I run Terraform apply, automatically, first of all, the resource will delete. Next, it is going to create. See now? Are you seeing one to add and one to destroy? First of all, what it is doing, it is destroying the existing resource. Later, it is going to create the same resource. So if you go and see, after destruction is completed, now am I able to recreate the same instance or not, sir? Of course. Of course, Vikram, but if I use target, first of all, I want to delete. Next, I want to create. How many commands you are going to run if you use target? 2 commands. Target will destroy, and again, you are going to use target to create. 2 commands for destroying and creating. But this will do within single command, right? Hope it is clear, Vikram. And now in the same way, first of all, the server got destroyed and later it got. Sir, now in the same way, I want to recreate the AWS S3 bucket. Why? Because my bucket is not working properly. So I want to recreate. In that case, what I can do? Terraform, taint the bucket and create them. Let me show you. Terraform, taint. I am tainting the bucket. So whenever it got taint, after if I use Terraform apply, automatically it is going to destroy first. Later it is going to create. See now? Is it destroyed now? First it got destroyed. Later it got created. Okay. But remember, in the older version, we use Terraform taint. But in the newer version, from version 0.15, we are replacing Terraform taint with replace command. Which command? Terraform taint and replace will do same activities, but Terraform taint is the older mechanism, and Terraform taint is replace is the. So let me show how replace will work. Okay, simply run Terraform apply, auto approve. Don't use taint now. Am I using taint here? No, just to put replace. What I want to put? Sir, which object you want to replace? I want to replace AWS instance with a bucket. Wait. Oh. Wait. So I want to recreate the bucket only. So I'm just giving Terraform replace. Okay, AWS S3 bucket with label name 2. Now I'm not using taint. Automatically it is going to replace or not, sir? Just see it now. First of all, it got destroyed and later it got created. Now tell me, in the first mechanism, I use Terraform taint. First of all, I want to taint. Second, I want to apply. But in the second one, I just use Terraform apply. But what is the tag I used here? Replace. Which one is better, taint or replace? Replace. Okay, but again, action will be same. Commands are going to be different, but the action and the output will be same. Here I mentioned the same point in the notes also. Okay. If I want to recreate specific reasons in the infrastructure, we are going to use taint. First of all, why? If I have a EC2, if it got crashed, it is not working properly. Okay. So instead of writing EC2 code main.tf separately, use the concept called taint. Here I have given the same thing. So instead of taint, we are going to use the new concept called Terraform replace. Okay. So you can use whatever you want. And one more thing, unfortunately, if I taint a object, for example, see, unfortunately, if I taint the object, now it is going to recreate or not, sir? Sir, by mistake, I have tainted. If I don't want to taint, put untaint. If I put untaint, nothing will happen now. Okay. So this is a very high level overview about the taint and replace. But which one we are going to use on real time, taint or replace? Why? Because replace is the newer mechanism and in replace only one command is required. But in taint, Terraform taint is the first command and Terraform apply is the second command. And again, this is very, very important for the experience level of people. So this is the concept of the Terraform taint. So in today's class, we have started with variables. I have shown you how to define the variables on Terraform tfvars, Terraform CLI and Terraform environment variables. And I have shown you the variable precedency also. After variables, which concept we have seen later? Terraform outputs. Which one? Outputs. And finally outputs, we have seen which concept? Taint and untaint. So this is enough for today. Of course, we have some time to discuss other topics also, but I don't want to discuss. So this is enough for today. So now before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the concept for all of you today? Is the concept clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm me how's the class for all of you today? Can you please confirm in the comment section? Okay. So now online, if you are having any doubts or any queries, you can raise your hand online so we can discuss the doubts and queries part. Okay. So Vikram, sir, 10 instances there in taint and replace, how we mention the particular like, so basically you can use two replace tags, replace instance number 1 and again hyphen replace instance number 2. You can do like this, Vikram. Okay. And you can do Terraform taint instance number 1 and again Terraform taint instance number 2, again Terraform taint instance number 3. You can also do like this. Hope it is clear. Not instance ID, you can use the instance, what we call this one, index number. Okay. You can use the index number. Fine. And one more thing, I need to tell you some important thing called like blocks in the Terraform actually. Let me go ahead and tell you. For example, like if I go to main.tf, in the main.tf, are you seeing the provider? The first thing what you are going to see in the left side of the Terraform is going to be block here. Provider is a block. And after block, you are seeing block label. In Terraform, you have only major three things in the syntax. Block, block label, arguments. Okay. So block is nothing but what kind of block, and label is to identify the block, sir. Label is to identify the, for a single block, you might have 0 labels, you might have 1 label, you might have 2 labels, you might have 3. For a block, labels can be anything. I can have 0 label, 1 label, 2 label, 3 label. Okay. Inside the open brace, what you are going to write is called as arguments. Which one? Arguments are nothing but inputs for the block. For this block, region is equal to US East 1. It is at input or not, sir? So like this. So now based upon the above example, in the second block, what is the name of the block here? Name of the block. And how many labels are there here? 2 labels. How many? First label is AWS instance, second label is. And how many arguments are there here? 3. AMI, instance type, name. So this is what exactly the syntax is going to be. And one more thing you need to understand is identifier. See, in Terraform, whenever you are having 2 different words, okay, we cannot give space. Instead of giving space, we are going to give underscore. This underscore is what you can call as identifier. What do we call it as? Now tell me, here if I go and see AWS S3 bucket, 3 different words, but I'm combining with the identifier or not, sir? Again, instance type, 2 words. Am I combining with identifier? So underscore stand for why to use identifier. Instead of writing 2 different names, we want to combine them as a single name. How can I do it with the help of identifier? Again, first one is the block, second one is the block level. Inside the open brace, you are going to write the arguments. Arguments are nothing but input for the blocks. Okay, that's it. So this is the concept of Terraform syntax actually. So this is how exactly the Terraform is going to work. So is the concept of Terraform outputs, CLI, and what we discussed? Variables, variable president. Clear for all of you know? Yes. So online, if you are having any doubts or any queries now, you can go ahead and you can ask me now. We still have a lot of time to discuss the doubts and queries. And after you done, let me destroy this one. Terraform destroy. Okay. So if you don't have doubts and queries, what is the coolest topic you have learned today? Which one is coolest topic? Variables, outputs, or taint? Which one? Which one you like a lot today? Variables, huh? Variable presidency, right? Hmm. So basically, that is going to be one of the most difficult concept in Terraform. But again, you got it very simple. What is the highest presidency given for? Lowest precedent is for default value. That means if you define a value on main.tf or variable.tf, that is the least preference. Fine. Rajesh, how to check if argument name and label name is correct? Is there any list to help? Definitely, Rajesh. So basically, if you go to Terraform, sorry, if you don't know how to write this one, if you don't know how to write the configuration code, directly go to Terraform official documentation. There you are going to get a lot of examples. Let me show it one of you, like one among them. If I go here and type Terraform AWS EC2 code, just type like this directly. Okay. If I go here and if I see this one, you can get all the inputs. If I go and see For example, what you want to write here, like this is the data source actually. This I don't want. Wait. If I go to the input section, in the input, you can go and you can check what exactly you want to write. Okay. So there are a lot of ways to check. Let me show you one of the best way to check. EC2. I don't want to go for module. Okay. Yeah. Go to the official documentation. In the official documentation, basically they will give some code, sir. What they will give? Code. But if you scroll down in the down of section, are you seeing the tags here? What is the instance tag we need to give? Default tags, volume, you can see. And are you seeing argument reference here? Argument reference means how to pass the argument, how to give AMI. I need to give AMI like this only. How to give the public IP address? I need to use this only. Sir, if I want to give availability zone, I need to use the same availability underscore zone. And if you go here, if you scroll down, you will be having all the inputs, sir. For example, let's see. I want to give the capacity reservation for my server. How I can define the value? Like this. And is it mandatory or optional? So in the official documentation, everything is defined. Just go see the official documentation. You will be having the clarity. I hope it is clear for you online. And even for EBS volume, you can write encryption like this. You can do a lot of things. The only thing you need to do is go and read the official documentation. I hope it is clear for you, Rajesh, now. Yeah. So everything is your official documentation. It is a source of truth for learning Terraform. Okay. And even if I want to know something, I need to go for official documentation only. Everybody will depend upon official documentation. Okay. So I'm gonna stop this server now and let's reuse the same server on tomorrow's class. Have I given the notes for you, first of all? Not yet, I think so. Google Classroom, right? Let me upload the notes so we can wrap the session. Okay, then. So that's it for today. Let's meet on tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, online.